fight back. I gave everybody some great advice, I believe, some tools that are necessary when you've been down, when you feel like you're under or in the trenches and you can't get up. There are some things that you need to do. There are some people you need to cut off. There are some people you need to embrace. And there are some plans that you need to write and be intentional on them. Today, we're talking about get your fight back. It's not over for you. The best is just actually starting. It's going to get even better. But in order for it to get better, you've got to have a plan in place, and you've got to believe that it can get better. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to play this, and while I'm playing this, do me a favor, invite somebody, share, tell them coffee time is on. And I believe we have something that we're going to talk about that's going to change your life. Invite somebody to share. Welcome to Coffee Time.
Coffee time, coffee time. Yeah, this ain't your average cup of joe. Listen, I need it in the morning, I need it at night. He always keeps it brewing, he always keeps it tight. Just a little sip, it'll get you right. Terrence Pickett always be the one that gets the coffee right. The coffee's right, the coffee's right in my life. It's never a wrong time or a crime to get what's yours and to get what's mine. Come on. Coffee time in my life. Coffee time feels so right. I need a little sugar, put it in my cup. Can you stir it, Terrence? Let me know what's up. And at the end of the show, you can brew another pot. Just make sure you make it hot. Come on. Time in my life. Coffee time feels so right. I need a little sugar, put it in my cup. Can you stir it, Terrence? Let me know what's up.
And good morning. Welcome to Coffee Time. Terrence Pickett here. It's another day that God has blessed us to see. And for that, we ought to be happy. We ought to be ecstatic. As long as there is breath in the body, there is hope. I'm telling you, as long as there's breath in the body, there's hope. So as long as there's hope, there's going to be help. As long as there's help, there's also hope. So this morning, let's see, this thing didn't do what it was supposed to do. I had to change my status. Let's see here. I found out a lot of people inboxed me and said, well, we can't see Coffee Time, and it was primarily because I had put it to friends only. I've opened it back up to the public, so everybody can see it. Do me a favor before I get into my good mornings. Will you invite somebody and share this video? Invite somebody to share this video. I want to say to those that are on, to the good, the great Barbara Gray. What's up, Reb? Good to see you. Tasha Renee, good morning. Latoya Taylor White, good morning, and good morning to everybody on our other platforms. Good morning to you. So, believe it or not, this is my first cup of brew, liquid prayer. I normally do a half a cup before I come on, drink the other cup half, while I'm on, but I didn't do that this morning. So, go get your fight back. There's a song by P.J. Morton. Man, that song just stirs me every time that I hear it. But he talks about the dreams that he had when he was a kid before impressions were made. So I want to start off this morning challenging you. Who did you think you were going to be when you were a kid? What were you dreaming to be when you were growing up? And what is your biggest desire to become now? A lot of people think, um, a lot of people think that dreams have a expiration date. I think dreams in you expire when your body retires. And I didn't say retirement, I say when your body expires. In other words, the dream expired at death. But as long as there's breath in the body, whatever dream you have, it's never too late to start again. There's some things that I've made a decision that I'm going to do. Some things that I probably could have done maybe right out of high school. But because of life and things that happen, I didn't do it. And it's one of my life goals. And those are things that I'm working on now. And I want to encourage you to get a pen, get some paper. If you can, while we're speaking this morning, while we're talking, take notes down. While I'm talking, other things may be alerted in you. I may say something that may trigger something in you that has nothing to do with our conversation. But I really believe that there are people that God has in place to trigger the life that's in you that's been buried because of life's problems and difficulties. We've buried our dreams. We've buried our hopes. We've buried desires. And I believe as I'm talking, things are going to be triggered in you, and you need to write those things down so you don't forget. I say it all the time, and it's worth repeating. I didn't come up with this. I got this from one of my old pastors years ago. But he would tell me all the time, a short pencil is better than a long memory. So this morning, respect what's in you. When something is triggered or something is said that challenges you, write it down. And then in times of struggle, or in times when you have spare time to build, the things that you wrote down, you use them as building blocks to push you closer to where you believe you need to be. So do me a favor, everybody. Do me a favor. Invite somebody to share. Here's the other thing. I started it last year, kind of let my feet up off the accelerator. We're going to move Coffee Time to YouTube. We're already there. But I need you all to go with me to YouTube, which means you need a YouTube account. It's not hard to set up a YouTube account. And let me be transparent and tell you why. YouTube has something where they are waiting to pay me. Oh yeah, it's another source of income. YouTube, basically, because of my shows, because I'm consistent with my shows, they want to advertise. And in order for them to do that, I need all of the comments, the things that we talk about. You all saying good morning, I need it on that YouTube page. I love Facebook. It has been a blessing, but we have got to change and switch platforms. Now is the best time to do it, because with me not being on for a while, a lot of people don't know that I'm on, and that's why I'm depending on you all to help me out and share this video. They don't know that I'm on. I changed my time. Then I came on a different time. There's been some inconsistencies in terms of me coming on for various reasons. Number one, the primary reason is I'm still in transition. I needed to get away. I needed to do something different. I needed to get from around everything that was familiar to me. I needed healing. I need healing. I am being healed. It's not emotional trauma, but some of the things that have happened over the course of my life kind of accelerated last year. And as a result of that, I recognized some things in me were changing. Let me tell you something. I'm so grateful to God. I'm so grateful to God. I'm so grateful to God. Let me tell you why. There are so many people, things in them are changing, and they have no clue that they are changing, but everybody around them knows. It's kind of like bad breath. You're the only one that don't know you have it. Everybody else is running from you, trying to get away from you because you're changing. Life does that. I've had to bury an unreasonable amount of loved ones. Just unbelievable. And I'm not in denial as to what it's done to my heart. I don't think you go through those changes, those life changes. You can't grieve because there are so many responsibilities, so many people that depend on you. So I needed to unplug, get away for a while, do something different, put my attention on something else. Being in the mountains, Niagara Falls, listen, it has done nothing but it's bringing me a sense of peace that I remember that I used to have, and kind of unplugging, pulling out from what I'm accustomed to. No one knows me here. They don't know me in New York, not like you do. So it's a sense of freedom that comes with that. Anyway, this morning we're talking about get your fight back, believe again. What are the things that you would do if money was not a problem? Let me tell you the system that we have become prisoners in. There's a system of provision that has many of us locked up, and we can't live our dreams. We can't do the things that make us happy because of provision. Yesterday we talked about that. You need to go listen to yesterday's coffee time. I really believe it'll bless you. Do me a favor. Will you all invite somebody to share? Can you do that for me? Valerie Cook Val, good morning. P. Coffee Brown, I owe you an email. I kid you not, from the last time we've talked, the first time that it has hit my mind, it's just now. Latoya Taylor White, good morning. Vanessa Robertson, good morning. Tina White McPherson, good morning. Latrina Donald, good morning. And good morning to everybody that is on. So what happens as we grow in an effort to make us better, there are restrictions that are placed on us to help develop discipline, order in our life. There are restrictions that are placed on us. These restrictions are not placed on us to hinder us, but to help us, to give us some level of guidelines. But in the process of helping us over a period of time, they hinder us. I shared this before, and it's worth sharing again, but when my kids were small, I would not allow them to color in coloring books at a certain age. I would not allow them to write on paper with lines because I wanted to see the pure, authentic manuscript and where their minds were taking them. I monitored them extremely careful. And I'm going to be honest, I wish I was this smart. It was the wisdom of God to let them lead me to what they enjoyed. And their mom and I, as much as possible, tried to create an environment that was conducive for what came natural to them. So my son, he wasn't even 1 year old, and he was just beating on everything. Pots, pans, if he saw two pins. So we bought him a drum set, a little small one. At his first birthday, he had a drum set. And we began to gravitate because we saw signs of music in him. So we kept him around music, and then gave or bought long-term him instruments. So whatever that thing was that came natural to him, we fed into it. Now with me being in the music industry, that wasn't hard at all. So every musical, every concert, every rehearsal that I had while he was a baby, I made sure he was there. Even if he was on punishment for not doing the things that he was supposed to do, I kept him in a musical environment. And then 2 years ago, he wrote and produced a song for Jacquees, this artist that was Grammy nominated. And he wrote and produced songs, made money, got some scores, and got some experience up under his belt. He's doing the same thing for a lot of different artists. If I was to name them, trust me, you would know them. But that came through us creating an environment that was conducive for where he showed us in terms of where he was going. He showed us what was in him. We took what was in him, created an atmosphere for it, and gave him the freedom to indulge in it. So many times we rob our children of what comes natural, and we teach them early how to live in dysfunction by trying to survive in a place that they were not created to be. One of the problems many of us are experiencing now is that we're working a job we don't like, working with people we don't like. We're stressed. We have headaches. Our body is spazzing out because we are forced to provide in environments that we were not created to be in. It's equivalent to taking a fish out of water and making him survive on dry land. Rhonda Oliver, good morning. Good to see you. A fish is made for the water. As a fish is made for the water, you are made for a certain environment. When you are not in that environment that you were created to be in, that is where frustration, irritation, agitation begins to break out. And you begin to slowly morph and turn into someone you were not created to be, because you're in an environment that was not created for you, and you're forced to conform to that environment. And because you are operating outside of where you were created to be, you start making poor decisions. We're talking about getting your fight back. Well, if you're going to get your fight back, you have to know where you quit. You've got to know where you place your fight. The reason we struggle with insecurities, the reason we fight ourselves from believing what's really in us is we've been forced in environments to operate, and those environments are not conducive for our creativity. Give me a second here. You have to feed the natural you. Well, in order to feed the natural you, in order to feed what comes natural to you, you've got to rediscover who you are. We lose ourselves a lot of times raising kids because we put so much of who we are aside so that we could fulfill their destiny. We pour so much into them to make sure they're who they need to be, to getting them ready for the world. We feed our marriages. We feed those loved ones around us, we become so much to so many that we slowly but surely begin to leave what we're called to do, who we're called to be. When you ask a person, I'm telling you, I'm getting ready to ask you a question right now, and I want you to answer it as honest as possible. All right? Who are you? Don't tell me what you do. Don't tell me how many degrees you have, how many certifications you have. Don't tell me about your gift. Who are you? That is a question that you need to ask yourself, and you need to wait for an answer. Because many of us, our identity has been attached to our occupation, and our occupation, if we were to be honest, is the enemy of who we are. But because we've not discovered, we don't know who we are because we're too busy living, taking care of responsibilities. We've not taken the time to give ourselves the time and attention we need to discover or rediscover who we are in order to do what we need to do. We hear of good ideas, we hear ways to make money, and we chase those. But what you're chasing is not necessarily what you were created for. Do me a favor, invite somebody to share. What you're chasing is not necessarily the thing that you've been created to do. At what point in your life do you chase what you're created to do? When you're old and you start losing mobility? When you're out of debt? In many cases, that's going to be when you're old. When do you do it? Now listen to us. There's a system that we've been raised in that is poisonous to our destiny because it does not speak to the true authenticity of our purpose. Responsibilities cause us to get jobs that pay good money so that we can pay these bills. But just because you're paying bills, that doesn't mean that you're living in purpose. So now the bills have become your slave owner. You're enslaved to your debtors. You're enslaved to your debt. And while you are paying your debt, you are missing your purpose. At what point do you hit the reset button? At what point do you stop and come up with a plan to do what comes natural to you? Did you not know that your happiness, your peace, your joy is attached to what comes natural to you? Do you not know what comes natural to you isn't work? You flow in what comes natural. What makes it work is when you got to deal with people, Negroes, other ethnicities. That's when it becomes work. But what comes natural to you is also pleasurable to you. You get pleasure in what comes natural. That's why it's not work. And you can do it from sun up to sundown and never get tired of it. Why? Because you're operating in the lane, in the place that God's created you to operate in. But whenever you step outside of what comes natural and try to conform because of the system, because of debt, and because of what people are going to think, you lose the peace that is attached to it. So a lot of the peace that many of us are praying for, if you get where you need to be, that peace will automatically come. We're also driven by public opinion. Delta shared a post yesterday, and I shared it to my page, and I'm going to read the quote. It says, Don't let a person in the cheap seats have an expensive opinion in your life. Lord have mercy. They don't have anything invested in who you are and who you are to become, but you're competing with them. You can't compete with other people. You don't have the grace that they have, and the grace that is on your life is unique, it's separate, it's different. And whenever you start competing with somebody else, you're envying their position, and you leave originality to chase what they're doing, and you leave the lane that you're called to be in. I kid you not, over the years, I've had people tell me, because many of you that have been following me for some time, I used to do, there are two shows that I did. One in the morning was Coffee Time. The other one was Real Talk in the evening. Well, over the years, Real Talk shows start popping up. Shows start popping up. Coffee stuff. Coffee was in front. And these shows start popping up. And people would hit me up like, they're stealing your stuff. You can't steal my stuff. You can't. You can do what I do. You can make your stuff look like mine, but you can't steal what I have, because I am the only one that's uniquely qualified to be me. And I am the best me that can ever be. So no matter what they have, no matter what they call it, it'll never be this, because they aren't me. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not competing against anybody. I do what's unique to me. I do what comes natural to me. And when I stay in the lane of what flows naturally to me, there's always safety. Even in difficult days, when it is tough to just breathe, we go through some things in life, man. It's almost as if this stuff is suffocating the life right out of us. And when I get on Coffee Time, boy, I feel my joy. I got some news at the beginning of this week. It was devastating. Devastating. And I didn't come on Monday because of it. I needed to take time to reset, feel whatever I felt. But you best believe I was on here yesterday. I'm on here today. Why? Because my healing, my peace, and my happiness is attached to who I've been created to be. And the way that I get my fight back is I operate in the things He's called me to operate in. I'm planning a recording right now. I'm called to do music, and I'm called to do this talk stuff. Whether it's TV, radio, phone call, I'm called to it. And I know I'm called to it because I don't have any greater joy than doing what I've been called to do. I'm in the process of, we're getting ready to do a musical project, a full musical project. Did you all download my single, Always There? Don't do me like that. Now, you done went and bought Michael Jackson, Mary J. Blige, Kirk Franklin. Don't do Pickett like that. It ain't too late either. Go get my project. It's on all digital outlets. Shameless plug. It's on all digital outlets. It's Terrence Pickett, Always There. I wrote, arranged, produced the song that I'm singing, and we're getting ready to do a full project. Hopefully, our goal is to have it out the fall of this year. Because of the work, the things that we have to do, we're in the planning stage now, talking about dates. Why am I doing it? It may not go anywhere, but I'm called to it. I've got to go with what comes natural to me. I get excited when y'all want to hear. You want to hear a little bit of the song? Let me see if I can pull it up for you. Let me see what we got here. Yeah, I'm gonna play a little bit. And then you need to go to Apple iTunes, Tidal. What's the little thing for y'all with them? If you got a Samsung phone, you so childish. Grow up. It's 2021. You around here talking about Samsung. Loose here. Anyway, I was just kidding. Whatever the digital outlets that your phone is connected to, it's on all of them. Okay, Spotify. I'm gonna play a little bit for you. Listen to this.
I've had troubles, disappointments. Friends have come and friends have gone, but you were always there for me. In my weakness, Lord, you were strong. I lost my brother, then my father. The enemy tried to take my daughter too. That's when your wings became a shield for me. Now my daughter has victory too. You were there. You were there.
Listen, that's enough. That's enough. Listen. That song was written in pain, and I had no idea COVID was coming. I called my big brother, Troy Sneed. I said, Troy, hey, I need you to put this song on your machine. Because of our relationship, he agreed. We talked about some things. We released it. And when we released it, I think within a few weeks, Troy went home to be with the Lord. You can't make this stuff up. If you listen to the lyrics, it's speaking to us right now. But the song was written in 2012. I recorded that song in 2012. I sat on the song 8 years, didn't do anything with it. When I released it, I did not go back in the studio. I did not clean it up. I sent it to be mixed and mastered. That was it. And I released it. Listen to me. There's another song. Mother's Day last year, we did a concert. And there's another song that I wrote called Sovereign. Sovereign is going to be on this upcoming project that we're in the process of doing. Why am I sharing that with you? I'm sharing that with you to let you know two things. There are two things that you're going to have to do in life. The first thing you're going to have to do in life is you got to do what you got to do so you can do what you're called to do. I'm going to say that again, man. I'm going to say that again. You got to do what you got to do so you can do what you're called to do. What do you have to do? You may have to take a season where you go work so that you can plan to get out of the work and pursue what you need to do. You should be making plans to escape the prison that has held you hostage and held you down from being who God created you to be originally. You're greater than where you are. You're greater than some of the decisions you made. There's a grace that is available for you. That grace not only covers you, but it empowers you to be even greater in what you're called to do. You got to be true to you. You got to be authentic. You need to write down what makes you happy. You need to write down what excites you. And you need to write down what you would do if money was not a problem. Once you have it, those are the things that you should be pursuing every day. Listen to me. Listen to me. I have learned to invite people in to what you're doing, because God sends people to help fund your ideas. You know, there was a time in my life, it was pride. I'm not asking you for nothing. If I got to work 8 jobs to fulfill what I need to fulfill, because I didn't want to be ridiculed and in public opinion, I did care what people thought about me, so I wasn't going to ask. And I never forget, one of my big brothers who's in the faith chastised me. He said, do you believe you're doing what God called you to do? Yeah, by all means. He said, do you believe you're in the timing of God? Yes, by all means. Do you believe God called you to do what you're doing? Yes. Why don't you invite the people to give? Well, truthfully, you'll never say I was begging. You'll never say I asked you for anything. That was pride. Let me tell you something. Pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. Here's one of the things God dealt with me with. I'm not in this by myself. This is kingdom stuff, first of all. This is what you're called to. Is God's idea of you and what he placed you on earth to do. So you're not doing it for you. It's not about you and your name. It's really about kingdom purposes and what God is trying to establish in the earth through you. You're just a vessel. So when I open up and I say, hey, I need your support, I'm inviting you in to God's idea. Some people are called to listen. Some people are called to help finance this stuff. Other people are called to tell everybody else. Some plant, some water. God sends the increase. So I stopped that foolishness. Now, every time I get ready to do something, I solicit help. In the same way that I've helped other people, I need the same help. Oh, yeah. So this morning, you know, we have a budget for this project. It's thousands of dollars to do it right. And I am soliciting help. This ain't no, if you give, I'm going to give you a prophecy and Donald Trump going to be president. No, that's not what this is. This is you joining in with me to help this project comes to pass. It solves and resolves the idea that God had as it relates to the things that he wanted us to do in the earth. When you give, you partake in the promise that God has established in me. I'm not the gift. It's his gift. It's his purpose. It's not so that I can be great. It's so that I can fulfill the destiny that he's calling. And I do believe in the law of reciprocity. What you make happen for others, God will make happen for you. So here's what I'm asking this morning. I'm asking. If I had 10 people, just 10, if 10 people would give $200 towards this project, you say, boy, that's a lot of money. Hey, I've been on this thing here helping y'all for 9 years, long before people started doing shows. And I'm not saying you owe me because I was here. I am saying I've been consistent in what I do. And now I'm in need. I'm in need. If I can get 10 of you to give $200, if I get another 10 to give 100, if I get another 5 to give 50, I'll be close to reaching my goal. We're releasing an EP, and there's a book that we're going to put out. It's a journal. The journal and the music is going to come out together. It's a coffee time journal. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about here. I'm excited about it. And I need your help financially. Maybe you're in a different position. Hey, I don't have that, but I want to do something. The sponsor coffee time is on the screen. Maybe you say, you know what? Pick it. How much is it? I'm going to pay for the whole thing. Where are you? Call me. Call me. Inbox me. I'll give you my number. I'll come pick it up today. Maybe you can say, hey, I can give more than that. I can't give that, but I can give something. Whatever your case is, I believe we need to do this together. When it comes to the executive producer of this project, it's going to be the people of Coffee Time. The executive producer is the person that pays for the project. It's going to be the people of Coffee Time. Everybody's name going to be on there. I need you to help me bring this dream into reality. I'm not going to try and do it on my own. I thought about it, and I'm like, no, man, we've done everything else together. I thought about the homeless initiative that we have, how we give blankets, food, etc. to the homeless, how we've helped orphans, how we've helped widows. Listen, for years, I did it out of my pocket alone. When people start giving to Coffee Time, then I do it out of my pocket and Coffee Time's budget. This is another project that I believe God wants us to do to bless the earth. It's a desire. It's a dream. But I also see a need. We need good, wholesome music. We need music that's going to speak to us as it relates to our eternal purpose and our purpose here on the earth. Will you do that for me this morning? Will you join me in making this dream come to pass? Will you? I appreciate it. For those of you that give monthly, give more if you can. If you can't, no pressure. God ain't going to curse you if you don't give. Pickett ain't going to be mad if you don't give. It don't work that way. But if you can, if you will. The Cash App is on the screen. If you prefer to give another way, hit me in my inbox. I'll be more than happy to meet you. I want to leave with this last thing. Some of you are in a position you can give 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500. Some of you, God is placing on your heart. You know you need to give. There's an amount that came to your head and you say, I ain't doing that. You need to do that. There's a reason it came. Let me give you this last thing. You're not going to be happy in life until you pursue the thing that's pursuing you. That thing that you think about, that thing that will not go away, the thing that excites you, the thing that makes you smile, the thing that brings joy to you. You're not going to be happy until you pursue it. That's why it's pursuing you. It's God's way of getting your hands busy in the earth to create something that will outlive you. Your work will help others, and it'll be here long after you're gone. As I put my hands forward to reach my goals, my prayer is that you're going to have the same support, love, kindness shown towards you as you reach yours. Hey, that's Coffee Time. Thanks for joining in. I'm so glad God chose us to do life together. Don't forget to give. The Cash App is on the screen. Without your ears, I don't have a voice. You make this possible. I need you. You need me. We need each other. Thank you for your support over the years. Thank you for your support right now. Thank you for giving to this cause. Without you, it wouldn't be. You were born to win, predestined to succeed. There's nothing that can happen to you today that the wisdom on the inside is not able to handle, but you got to calm down, slow down. You got to be quiet. You got to let wisdom speak. When wisdom speak, you will always win. Find out who the true, authentic you is. Find out what makes you happy. Write those things down and pursue that. That is the dream that God has invested in you, and that's what he wants you to do in the earth. That means you're going to have to leave the plantation. The plantation is the place that has you bound to produce something you're not called to do. If you got to chase what really makes you happy, go after that with everything that you have. Come up with a plan. Do the research and pursue it with all your might. You all have a great day. Be productive. And always remember to think higher, speak life. Peace out.
Coffee time, coffee time. Yeah, this ain't your average cup of joe. Listen, I need it in the morning, I need it at night. He always keeps it brewing, he always keeps it tight. Just a little sip, it'll get you right. Terrence Pickett always be the one that gets the coffee right. The coffee's right, the coffee's right in my life. It's never a wrong time or a crime to get what's yours and to get what's mine. Come on. Coffee time in my life. Coffee time. Feels so right. I need a little sugar, put it in my cup. Can you stir it, Terrence? Let me know what's up. And at the end of the show, you can brew another pot. Just make sure you make it hot. Come on.